Hey guys, my name is Ryan. We're back again with another Spirit Island video. Today we are going to be playing some Fierce Spirits, getting ready for Halloween. We have Breath of Darkness down your spine and Shadows Flicker Like Flames, playing the Darkfire aspect. I'm not a big lore guy, but I'm pretty sure I heard that these are like the same spirit, or maybe Breath of Darkness is like the evolved form of Shadows Flicker Like Flame. Not sure if that's true or not, that's just what I've heard. Anyways, we're going to be going up against France 6. Let's get right to it. Okay, we got a little bit of a back-to-back arrangement here. All right. Endless Dark right there. We're going to simply just go a clean left-right. I'm pretty sure, I had to double check. I think the Incarna starts in the low jungle. Yep, low jungle, and then the high jungle just gets a presence. And then this gets, I believe, a sacred site in the high jungle, and then one in land number 5. I've been playing so much of the Handelabra digital version that I've gotten a little bit lazy memorizing exactly what the starting position is for each spirit. But I wanted to, play some different spirits than I have been recently. These are not available yet, but they will be soon. And so we can definitely look forward to seeing a lot more content once it comes out on Steam, or Nature Incarnate gets released on Steam. So for only the first Explorer of the game, France will only get 1 Explorer, not 2. And then we have to do a little France 6. I'm going to go here. Normally, I would go here in A2, but I'm thinking about where this Incarna is going to go after we pick up this Explorer in land number 3. And I think it's reasonable to move up to here and try and pick up this city next, assuming that we don't get the wetlands on our next Explorer. So for that reason, we're going to go into a Beast Land. Okay, and away we go. One of the nice things about this Darkfire aspect is this free element. So in pretty much all other versions of Shadows, you have to go for energy in 2 card plays just to start to do things on the board. But with this Darkfire aspect, so long as you're playing Mantle, Crops, or Unquenchable Flames, we can pick up 1 energy, play that card, and then we can hit this innate power and gather out an Explorer. And so we could solve this without having to invest too many resources. By gaining 1 card and only playing 1 card, we'll be at 5 cards going into our next turn. So we could, gain energy and go here. Maybe we happen to draft a 0-cost card, and then we can just, keep on drafting and keep on pushing. This little bit of a change makes your opening dramatically better with Shadows. Now with Breath, I'm always looking to draft as many cards as possible. I think Breath wants to spend as much time between reclaims, building up this nice, big, Endless Dark. And so I'm definitely going to draft first on Breath. And while we consider this, there are some interesting options. Of course, we do care quite a bit about our elements. And so that's going to push us towards this Visions or this Call to Isolation. Between the two, I'm quite likely to take Call to Isolation. But we can sit on this for a minute and then consider what we want to do with Shadows. So with Shadows, obviously we're going to be kicking this guy out, and we can perhaps do like a Mantle of Dread to clear up some stuff in land number 8. But still going to build a city before we get there, and I don't believe we're going to have the opportunity to pick up that city with the Incarna. One thing I'm considering is maybe doing a Favors Called Due, putting a bunch of Dahan here into C, and then doing a Concealing Shadows in this land, just doing that basic combo. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Now, if I choose to do the Favors Called Due play, and I want to kick this out of this land, I would need to go for the energy, go bottom track, in order to play another card, such that I will be able to kick this Explorer out. Denying this town, I feel like, is a very important thing to do. And I am leaning towards playing something like a Mantle of Dread on our next turn, or on this turn. So I'm considering doing something like this. But it's kind of just a gamble as to where I can get value from. I can get full value in any one of these lands. But not necessarily guaranteed value. And so that is a concern to me. I could have Breath grow into this land, and then we grow into one of these lands, so that way if Sands comes up, we get a hit here. And if this other terrain comes up, we get a hit. But let's just say I guess wrong, right? Let's just say I grow into the wetlands, grow into the sand, then mountains comes up. Now what am I doing with this Mantle of Dread? It doesn't do anything. But I do think this favored Call Due opening is where I want to be. I guess I could grow into here and prep the Call to Isolation over here. Visions of Fiery Doom is also just really, really good at setting up our Incarna to pick things up. Like if there's two things in a land, you kick one of them out with the Fiery Doom, and then you Incarna hit the other one. But Call to Isolation does a very similar thing. I think Call to Isolation is going to be the pick. Whoops. Go over here. Maybe, yeah, I think we can wait to turn on Mantle of Dread and increase our odds of getting a hit. We could just play an Unquenchable Flames and just throw down a bad land somewhere. Because neither Spirit's really going to be making use of this Badlands for a minute. So we'll just play it for the elements. So we'll go here, gain 3 energy. Okay, and we'll put you here. Since we know we're going to eventually need that for the Concealing Shadows. And then over here on this side, if we wanted to, we can choose to hit this innate. All we have to do is play... we could do this opening. This opening is pretty solid, though we don't get the extra strife because of the beast here. As far as other animals, we could just go for the Reach for Infinite Darkness opening. That's a perfectly fine one. I do like this. It sets us up well for wherever we want to go, just because this Emerge from the Dread Knight Wind means that we're not obligated to run into the 2. We can still choose to hang out there, but it gives us more flexibility. And we will put this Presence... and also we need to escape, so we don't want to rush and get too far ahead of ourselves. But I think I'll go here, just get some Dahan in my lands. Right there is fine. Okay, so we will abduct this Explorer, push my Incarna up here, and then we can pick up 2 Presence and give bonus range. Now we need to make sure that we don't do this Unquenchable Flames. Sacred Site. Guess we could do this first, and then we can... No, we still don't want to do the Unquenchable Flames. Is that a big enough reason for me to not play Unquenchable Flames this turn? Yes. Yeah, we'll do Crops. Okay, gives us the same elemental spread, and then we can do Presence. Okay, Invader Phase. Have to skip this one, which is unfortunate because both of these spirits are in air, and skipping a fear card is just nice. It's 8 free fear. Alas, we're going to build. Triangle Trade. Okay, and then explore the wetlands. France 6 here is a pretty easy one. France 6 I can also do here pretty easily. Okay. Favors Call Due. Just bring in all of these to Han. So 4 is greater than 3. Therefore, we pick up 3 fear. and then Crops, Wither, and Fade, and recognize that we do have +2 range, so we can target a majority of the board with this card. An interesting thing that we could do is we could Crops, Wither, and Fade here, or actually we don't even have to here. We could emerge from the Dread Knight Wind, push 2 things out, and then Abduct as a means to not take Blight. Perhaps we should have picked this up and abducted it just to avoid taking a Blight here. But in general, in this matchup, it's kind of a tricky card to use, this Crops, Wither, and Fade, because we want to make sure that we don't lose to the towns. If we downgrade a town into an Explorer, it'll just go back. And if you downgrade a city into a town, well, now you're increasing the amount of towns on the board, not decreasing it. So it is a little bit of a tricky card to use for that reason. But with that being said, yeah, like this is fine actually, right? Like if we downgraded this, then we'll net increase our town count by 1 on our next turn. So we're actually no better off. I think at this early stage of the game, I mean, I picked this just because it's a very difficult thing for these spirits. You know, the extra explorers just makes that explorer control that much harder to leverage. So I did want to give myself a bit of a challenge. If we did something like Prussia with the small fear pool and the very fragile setup, then we would just kind of burn through this game and it wouldn't be very interesting. But I want to give myself a little bit more of a challenge. I do think I can abduct this city on our next turn. Thinking about on our next turn doing like a swallowed type of play in order to pick up this, abduct this, and then we're good to go. So that's kind of the thing I'm thinking about right now. How can we get that set up? I think we'll go here. Get a fear, and we'll go push, push. And we do have 1 invader, so we get a fear, and we can downgrade it. Coming back to this Crops, Wither, and Fade, it will produce 2 fear. And at the very least, if I don't find a spot that I like, I could just use it in this land, because it'll all die. However, I'm going to choose to use it in land number 6. Because I want to be able to France escalate without being a forced blight. I want to be able to choose to take a blight if I want to. Okay, now we go to turn 2. So we've already talked about taking this Concealed Shadows. We could set up a Mantle of Dread since we know we're looking at either mountains or sands on our next turn. We can, grow into like these lands and just start to make it happen. So I think it's a pretty sensible thing to do. It only costs 1 energy, so we're going to gain a minor and try and stretch out the duration of time before we have to reclaim. And we have a bunch of great choices here. All of them have either moon or fire. This was the only dual one. Lots of interesting combo potential here. Gift of Power. So if we were to, a thing to think about with Breath is that if you were to keep on spamming this growth option to gain a power card, we can get this far and then underplay once, right? By the time we get through 4 present, 4 card gains, we'll have 8 cards across 9 potential card plays. But if we get hit with this Gift of Power once, then we have no turn where we are less powerful than we could potentially be in terms of quantity of cards played. Not sure this Badlands is super important. And we're really not doing the Dahan Defend thing. Like, yeah, we got Concealing Shadows, but this is generally one of the first cards that we forget to a major. So really, it's Gift of Twin Days versus Gift of Power. Which of these 2 cards can Breath of Darkness make more use of? Okay, well, Gift of Twin Days. What are we going to be repeating? We have Reach from Infinite Darkness. We have Call to Isolation. Call to Isolation's cool. Reach from Infinite Darkness we're definitely not interested in. I mean, we could choose to set up such that we repeat one of these 1 costs. That is a true thing. But maybe I'm not giga-brained enough in order to use Gift of Twin Days to its maximum potential. Another thing I'm thinking about is that I will want to get into majors with shadows, and this just has a greater volume of elements for us to work with. Don't know how important that is, but it is a consideration. Let's take a second and consider our cards here with Breath of Darkness. Guardian Serpents I'm looking at as a means to solve lands without, having to do like abduction and stuff like that. Enticing Splendor, any kind of push or gather card allows us to do more things with our Incarna, being able to pick things up. I feel like Rain of Blood doesn't actually do anything for us. We're already really good at making fear. We really just need to play the board to buy ourselves time to get there. Tormenting Rotflies I think is a kind of a similar situation, though the disease is quite relevant against France. Guardian Serpents does look quite interesting to me, though. Like, if we drop a Sacred Site here in land number 5, then... or either spirit puts a Sacred Site in land number 5, then we can just, defend it. And that's important for the Blight Escalation. Or Blight Cascade, sorry. Similar kind of idea in A2, right? Right now it's Ravaging for 4. But France is just really good at hitting for 5. And so that makes me think that Guardian Serpents is going to be the pick. Call to Isolation plus Guardian Serpents, right? It will allow us to move Dahan into a land, then defend it, right? All relevant things. Thinking about taking this moon, but I'm also thinking about not taking the moon and taking the presence movement. Because right now we're doing nothing with this Incarnate. We could like come over here and then maybe do like a Swallow by the Endless Dark, abduct you, damage abduct you, slide into this land, and then, Guardian Serpents it. So if we were to do that, we would want to play a Swallowed plus something with an animal on it. So we could do like a Call to ISO, but actually we need a moon animal, so that narrows it down right quick. And actually with this Terror of the Hunted, we could strife this land out, so that way we don't even need to worry about it. We could use the Call to Isolation to bring a Dahan in. Okay, I do like that line. Maybe we go here, return these presents here. We have to return 2 pieces. And now because of this Guardian Serpents, this Rights the Land rejection looks a lot better. Because now we can, we're going to be defending this land, right? But we need Dahan in order to actually gain advantage on the board. And so, yeah, I'm going to take this Rights. Also, being a pseudo-disease is always relevant against France. If we're going to be playing this Mantle of Dread, we've got Sands here for some amount of value. So I will go here in the mountains. That way we have a target to use no matter what comes up. If Sands does come up, I think that's better for me because we can kick these out. It'll leave a single Explorer, it'll build, and then it'll just die to Slaves Rebellion, so that'll be full solved. Oh yeah, during Spirit Phase, we get the move like we talked about here. So now I can go to Fear, abduct the Explorer. I have 1 damage to abduct this town. Slide this presence over. Then here we get a Fear. And we can do this. A cool thing about the Darkfire aspect is that the first time each action would destroy presence, you may push a presence instead of destroying it. All versions of Shadows have some way of handling the fact that Concealing Shadows is a range 0 card and makes you lose your presence. The base version, you can pay an energy, so that way you pay an energy instead of losing a presence, and you can go through all the aspects. So you can see that a consistent theme among them is some amount of range boosting, or like with the amorphous version, you use it and you get your presence out of there. But there's some way of not just losing to our only defend card. And this one is simply don't lose your presence. I guess the Maddest one doesn't protect it, but it gives you a bit of a payoff, right? It gives you a fear. Anyways, we still have the ability to gather and explore. Now, we already have this land handled, right? We've got a way of defending, so we don't necessarily need to do anything here. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this Explorer in. Now it's 8 HP, 8 damage, right? We're just going to get value. Event. Move a town 1 or 2 lands inland. Nada. And here, well, that's a town kill that we're no longer going to get. I think we're eating a blight in land 8 no matter what, so let's just go here. Okay, damage. Damage. Yeah, if we had played the Unquenchable Flames, we're definitely pinging... Oops, sorry. We're definitely pinging City there. Explore does not affect the coast. Okay, we will get value from that, either with the mountains or the sands. Okay, let's Ravage. Oh, and actually, because of this, I can just push this out. Hey, now we have guaranteed spot to use our Mantle of Dread. Didn't even think about that. That's cool. All right, build in the wetlands. And explore, but not the coast, the sands. So even though we could use the Mantle of Dread here, as I talked about before, hitting land number 7 is just so much better. So we'll do 2 Fear. And we're going to have to hit this land with a major. That's basically the direction that we're going, which is perfectly fine. It just is. Okay. We're going to get a Fear and 2 Strife. But the way this is going to play out, we're just going to abduct it and move on. But the Strife will stay with this city through the entire duration of its life cycle. So we can drop it into a ravaging land that has Strife. Or what we can really try and do is we can try and get Slaves Rebellion value from it in a minute. And then last, we get 1 Fear per invader here. And we get to downgrade, right? We could either get rid of an Explorer or downgrade a town. Getting the town count is our primary way of losing, so we're just going to do that downgrade. Though it is worth considering, before I lock in that decision, that we do have to escape both pieces on this next turn. But we can, like, do a split here. No, because I don't abduct. Yeah, we'll probably just wind up throwing them in the 3. No, we'll do this. We have 6 towns in the pool right now, so I think we're okay for a minute. Oh, this should be over here. Okay. So I could draft a card, and if it's a 0 cost, then I can play all 3 of these cards. But then I have a really, really weak reclaim. 1 energy, 3 card plays. Doesn't give me a lot of choices. It's like Concealing Shadows, whatever I drafted, plus 1 other card. But I do know that I'm playing this. That's already a thing. Go here, go here. And then that could be our underplay turn. Well, no. Yeah, that's only 2 card plays. Draft a card, and then we underplay on our 3rd turn. Let's see, what do we get? We get Scream Disease. Getting Disease is quite relevant into France. Blight removal doesn't do anything. We do have bad lands, thanks to Unquenchable Flames. So Desiccating Winds is technically playable, though it's still a bad card. And then Flow Down River, Blow Down Wind is always a perfectly fine card to take. Over here, I do like... I mean, I don't think gaining energy makes any sense. I guess we could gain energy, go bottom track, underplay, play these 2 cards, go from there. But I think actually maybe we draft... I'm almost considering drafting a major for getting this Concealing Shadows, going to 3 energy. So that way we'll have... so we'll go up to 4 minus 2 plus 3, so we'll be at like 5 energy on Reclaim. I like that better, since we know that we need this to be dealt with soon anyways. And yeah, we got some cool ones. Blazing Renewal is a good way of handling. We got, all these towns building up. It also allows us to do like dump land things with Breath. We can just keep on dumping things into one land, hitting it with the Blazing Renewal. Thickets Erupt. This one we really need a threshold, and we do have 1 plant. Instruments is interesting. The unthresholded portion is actually not awful into Slaves Rebellion. Infinite Vitality is basically just don't take Blight, which I don't think is super important. I think I'm going to take Blazing Renewal. We might only play it once this game, but I do think it's a good card. It's also funny, it's kind of a non-bow with not destroying our presence, that we may push instead of drawing it. So now that we know that we have a way to get our presence back for profit, we might just actively choose to destroy our presence. And my range on this one is going to be a range 1 Presence Edition. Might just go here just to get more presence in lands with Dahan. I think that's fine. Over here on this side, we have range 3. We have to escape a town. I am quite heavily leaning towards the Scream Disease into the wind, just as a means to insulate ourselves from bad things that are inevitably going to happen. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go here, escape this town into here, let this die, and then it'll come right back with the Blazing Renewal, probably next turn. I think that's playing into the strengths of what we just drafted. Okay. Also, take note, we don't actually have to let it die either, because we still have this move of presence. So I could let that escape happen and then shift my presence over, which I think is just better than having it die for no reason, right? It's preventable, so no reason to let that happen for free. Okay. Guardian Serpents. Do a defend 4 right here. Okay, we can bring in 3 Dahan because of rights. This we can pick up, shift over. Beast events, right? This is really relevant. going to build, and then we can just solve it. So I don't think we have to do anything there. Hmm. Do I keep all these Dahan together? I think so. I think we're just going to use that to kick that over. And then over here, we get to do the pick up 2 Explorers and 2 Fear. So let's go here and here, basically gather, and then gather this way, kill 2, get 2 Fear. Okay, Invader Phase, Event. Exactly 1 coastal city. This triggers once. Town to a coastal land with no city. So we can go here. We do skip Ravage actions nowhere. And then we get to push this town out. So we can go up here. Escalate. This is going to be emptied out, so escalate's fine here, escalate's fine here, escalate's fine here. Removes a town from a coastal land. Now, explorer. Recognize that this is France 6, so if there was an explorer, which right now there's no relevant explorers, but if there was, it would be a push instead of a remove. However, there is no legal targets. Life goes on. Ravage in the wetlands. Build in the sands. And explore the jungles. Okay, we're gonna France 6. And we have to escalate. I think we just go escalate here. Okay, 1 town left in the pool. Got to be ready for it. Gonna go down to 0 when we downgrade this. Got to be ready for it. Okay, the strike from mains. We're going to escape that right here, so that way it'll die to Slaves Rebellion. Over here, we got nothing set up. So I think here on Reclaim, we're going to want to play this Rights again, just to kick some Dahan out. We do have an Unquenchable Flames, which I'm going to use here in land number 8, so that way we get damage on this city. Oh, I'm going to get 5, so I don't have the energy for Blazing plus Rights. It's unfortunate, but Blazing gets 4 towns, whereas that would only pick up 1. So we can still get the Slaves Rebellion to protect ourselves, but we just don't get max value. Sorry, this is for Shadows. The Elemental Boon is nice, since we do share elements. Both spirits have Moon, and then we could, of course, do Shadows like a Fire, so this is basically a double element card for us. And then, you know, Air, we technically use, we generally never get there. Since we are looking for a second card to play this turn, I am strongly considering this Gift of Constancy, because under our current setup, if we wanted to play 2 cards, we actually don't have any 0 cost. So, okay, yeah, it's Constancy. Over here, we do have some major problems that we're looking at. can't help but think it's going to have to be a reclaim here. I don't think drafting is going to get us there. Something like a call to isolation. Kicking out this is going to be necessary. Because right now, this is going to make 2 cities. You have the triangle trade, and then you have the slave labor, the upgrade. So call to isolation will save us 1 town's worth. So if we're looking at destroying these 4 and then popping 2 from Slaves Rebellion, that puts us at 6 towns left in the pool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Could pick up that with the Incarnate as well. I think we reclaim. Ooh. Fire in the Sky is another town kill. All right, Fire in the Sky here in land number 3. Then we're doing all right. Fire in the Sky plus this call to isolation gives us no abductions. Because we don't have a second moon. Bird's Cry Warning is another way, right? We just kick some Dahan over, right? Slaves Rebellion it. Maybe Bird's Cry Warning is strong? But with this call to isolation, I need to play a moon card, which we're not being offered. Any moon card would allow me to full clear land number 3, right? So that would put me as something like a Swallowed or like a Terror. A Merge is a playable card. So if we're not playing the Fire in the Sky this turn, I think it falls off in value very quickly. Savage Mobbies could be a card. But we need to like pick up this animal, or we need to have a very narrow range of cards that we... Actually, not even super narrow. Almost all of our cards have animal. 0 cost, kill a town ain't horrible. But it is missing... I guess Big Moon... I do suspect I'm going to wind up going for the Empowerment, by the way. I find that this Empower is great. You know, picking up the free abduction every single turn is just really nice against France. Just like it has extra things on the board, and it just smooths out so many abduction paths. And I say all that just to say that we might not be going for double moon, right? We might go to 3 card plays and power as our direction. I'm going to go Bird's Cry. You're going to escape here. And I do get to move my Incarnate to any land. Concerned about going here just because, like, then I'm stuck in a corner. But I guess if I play a Merge, then it'll turn out okay. Now, the problem with my current setup is, let's see, if I'm killing 4, 5, 6... if I'm killing 6 towns... that puts me right on the brink. Right, because we got 4 coming in here, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, that's still no good, even with all of that kicked out. Don't want to necessarily have to rely on luck and fear cards, but We are going to be producing a good amount of fear. 6 fear. So that'll put me 3 fear short of having 2 fear cards, which is also terror level 3. So is there a way that we could do fast fear? Swallowed. I think I'm kind of stuck over here on the shadow side. Shadow showing its limitations. This would get me 1 fear short. Right? Because we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 fear required. Always possible to get 1 fear from an event, but if not required, it's not preferred. Puts us in a tough spot. Man, if we could, if we had just one more element and we screen disease, putting like a disease here, denying 2 towns, that would be pretty slick. I think this gives us the best chance of making a play. Abduction. We'll go push, push. We'll go here. Oh, I didn't count the city fear. Okay, that +2 fear right there will make the difference. And this only deals damage to buildings, so this explorer does survive. Okay, constancy reminder on you guys. My Incarna did not need to be in this land that whole time, because this does not require an Incarna, so I could have put this guy anywhere I wanted on the board. So I might as well like come over here or something. It's equally as useless to be stuck in this corner as it is to be over here. And then we just pick up city. Yep. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And we pick up city, then we'll jump over here. Maybe a beast event does something in order to save this position. Beast kill explorers, for example. Just gives us opportunities. Okay, invader phase, slaves, rebellion. Okay, we'll go strife, strife. Kill town. And here we go. Oh, adding towns to the board is the opposite of what I wanted. Killing beasts is nice. But adding towns to the board, explore and town. That might kill us. Okay, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Boom. Boom. Deny 2 towns from existing. So now we're net neutral. Over here, we kill you. 3. Nahan amongst this land. This land qualifies for both. So both spirits get to gain an energy. And I think both spirits just reclaimed, so that portion's not there. But we are well set up to take a major on our next turn on breath. If we survive this turn, I do start to feel a lot better. Ooh. Gather Dahan and then do damage. That will allow me to kill this town during Ravage. Makes no difference here. I could gather Dahan and deny a town here in land number 8. So yeah, that's my number 1 priority, is just not losing this turn. And then remove an explorer town from an inland land. If you remove an explorer, it gets pushed, but removing a town is really good at at solving the town count problem. So I think we're going to be doing a great thing here. Must be inland. If I remove this town, it comes back. And so our town count stays the same. If I do nothing, the town count also stays the same. So there's actually no value in hitting land number 4. Unless if I were to hit it twice, hit here. But that'll deny 1 town, as opposed to if I just pick up like here, then we're good. So we could go like here, here. So this puts us on 6. Looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Escalate, escalate. We're surviving. Excellent. But we are going to be flipping a blight card here. Okay, Ravage in the Sands. Blight. Okay. Build the Jungles. I'm strongly considering using Constancy to bring back this Blazing Renewal, hitting the +3 energy button, and then Blazing Renewal and again. might be the play to pick up 4 towns. We'll see. Okay, that was building the jungles, and then explore the sands. Got a little back-to-back action. No reason to take all this. Well, I do need Destroyed Presence if I want to use Blazing Renewal to kill all these towns. This land here is already like completely solved, pretty much, for being taken care of by Guardian Serpents. It's a 5 damage Ravage. Over here it's gonna be a 6 damage Ravage. But if I escalate in this land, it becomes an 8 damage Ravage. Do I take 2 Blight to save an action? I might. It's a tricky one. I think we'll just go here for now, instead of, because our Blight pool is also going to start getting stressed. Okay, slow phase. All we have here is 1 fear per invader, and we're just going to get rid of this Explorer. Okay, for time passes, we'll take this Blazing Renewal back, and we'll take this Swallowed back. Okay. So let's start by seeing what our major options are over here with Breath. Come on. Well, I mean, how can we not take it, right? It's exactly perfect elements for us. It's damn near thresholded for free. It's really hard to say no. It's also like exactly the kind of card that we need right now. Dropping a presence here for that threshold, picking up 4 Explorers, like, come on. I'm not even going to pretend to consider any of the other options. If Sleep didn't exist, Savage Transformation suddenly becomes a lot better. But, yeah, no, it's Sleep. It's Sleep all day. All day. As far as what do we forget? Call to Isolation's a fine forget. Probably Scream Disease is an okay forget. Bird's Cry. I do like Reach just because it's a 0-cost tri-element. And we'll forget Scream. I will need, if I were to only do 2 cards, I would have to play Reach from Infinite Darkness to match with it. I don't necessarily think I want to play Reach. And so I'm pretty sure we're going to wind up going bottom track here. And if we do that, then I have a lot more freedom in what I choose to play. Like, one thing I could do is like a Swallowed plus a Serpents. That would give me an extra thing here. Swallowed, pick this up maybe. But no, I need to add my presence here. Right, that denies a lot of towns from existing. Just going to use that as a ravage kit, probably. We also don't need to play Guardian Serpents if there's nowhere to use it. I mean, I guess I could make a Sacred Site here, and then, like, pick off 2 Explorers. Defend. I think that's fine. Maybe not playing Swallowed, because if I play with a different combination of elements and I pick up the the Threshold, then we're much better off. But we have a lot of, I mean, we have a lot of cards. Like this probably just makes more sense. Although I do like. So if we do go Swallowed, think about this actually. Pick up Explorer, damage, kill town, abduct city, get out of here. That does save me 2 blight. I think we'll sit on this for a minute. And then over here for shadows, we actually already have the Sacred Site, so we can, or no, sorry, I need to bring a Sacred Site here. I don't think I'm pressured to play this Blazing Renewal. Oh, this needs to come back too. I mean, that's pretty inoffensive, right? Escalate here. Okay. For shadows, I could play Rights to get some Dahan into this land if we're going to be defending it with this Guardian Serpents. Could do like a Mantle of Dread. Probably want to pick up this 3rd card play. Considering like a favors type of thing. Then next turn we can go 3+4 for 7 and play this. Which actually wasn't even planned that way. That puts me 1 element shy of a threshold on Blazing Renewal. With that Gift of Constancy, that's these 4 cards with Threshold Blazing Renewal for however good that is. But if I do Unquenchable instead of this Mantle, then that does set up for a Blazing Renewal to also kill a city, which I think is more valuable than a push. Well, we can push into the 8 and then Blazing Renewal the 8. But if I... So, let's see. We're going to be doing sleep here, these 4, or at least 3 of them. We do like 1, 2, 3, 4. We can use our presence slide for the turn to like do this. Pick up this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick up all those explorers. Kick Explorer Town out this way. That leaves just a city behind. So that means we're doing 0, 0, 0, 1 town being added. 1 town being added. And killing a town here, killing a town here. So we're okay on escalation. So it's just a matter of, do we set up for a city kill, or do we push this town into the Blazing Renewal land? And I think... think pushing the town in is going to be better. Okay. Whew, that's a lot. This will go for defend 4 and add a beast. Okay, over here we're going to bring some Dahan in. Over here, 2 fear, abduct you. Then I get 3 iterations of 1 damage. So we're going to do 1, 2, abduct, and slide. Sleep and never waken. We're going to skip this. And then we get to remove 2 explorers from this land. Okay, as well as 6 explorers from among your lands. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we get 1 fear per 2 explorers. This removes. We got rid of 7. That is going to be 3 fear. Okay, now we can pick up, go like gather this way and go kill, kill, fear, fear from this innate power. Before we get to the event, we have to sacrifice a presence or forget a power card. Now, this is an action that will allow us to use Darkfire to save ourselves, so we get plenty of flexibility. It's also really cool with our sacred sites, because we don't really need a lot of sacred sites. It's just nice to have them from time to time. So I could do something like this, bringing this guy over. Yeah, I think it's fine. And we do have to sacrifice a real presence for breath. Yeah, we'll go there. Okay, now we are ready for the event. Lesser Spirits Imperiled. We have 0 plants in play. I got 2 right here. Don't really want to discard them, though. We don't have energy to pay for it. And this is one of those events you really don't have to pay for. I mean, destroying the presence and getting the permanent element is pretty nice. But it's just going to be way too costly, right? This guy has literally 0 to support besides the 3 energy. Over here, we've got only 1 energy plus these 2 cards, but this is like an actual game plan that's working for us. So I think we're just going to take 1 energy each. And then for each board, you're going to flip over a minor power. And we care about plant and animal elements. Okay, this one has nothing, so that's easy. And then the animal element is you lose a Dahan in a land with blight. Right. Gosh, right there. Push a beast to a land with no buildings. Get a fear if explorers are present. So this has nowhere to go. We're gonna keep it on the coast, just because this is very highly likely to come up. We've got mountains, wetlands, and coast as the 3 leftover cards. So these lands will be active quite soon. Put our resources and lands where they're going to be useful. So similarly, I'm going to put my... Well, actually, has to go on a land with no town. That really jams me in a corner. Let's do that. Gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land with setup symbols. This has setup symbols. We could just gather here. This has setup symbols. I like that better because we have no value with Dahan in this land for a bit. On the other side, this has no setup symbols. We cannot gather in, even though we would prefer to. Here, 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 here. Let's just go this way. Strife in a land with or adjacent to beast. Invaders skip their normal explore and build. Ooh, skipping explores, right? 2/3 chance of value here, 2/3 chance of value here. Very nice. Strife in a land with or adjacent to beast. We're not taking any blight. So we just gotta look to see what else can we set up. Set up this. Set up here, I guess. Go like there. There is no beast adjacent to the 6. Or to the 7. Let's go there. Not sure that's super critical. Okay, Ravage. This one is skipped. This one does happen. Do we want to get a town kill? We're building one town off of triangle trade. So by killing this town as opposed to the city, it allows us to escalate twice by adding towns. So yes, we do. Yeah, we don't have... If we played Unquenchable, we can pick that off. Anyways. So we're going to go build, 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 and then triangle trade. We could go into the 4 or the 5. Don't want to go coastal. Definitely not the 3. I think we'll go here. Since we know that the land cannot come up, we're not forced to handle it. We can always choose to, but we're not forced to. Did I Sands build? Actually, oh, this has a beast. It doesn't even build because of the beast from the Incarna. That is a really big deal. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then Coast does not explore in lands with beast. And we don't escalate. Beast, beast. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. Well, that made Mantle of Dread a lot more interesting right here. Solves the back-to-back. The only back-to-back that we've got. That's good to hear. On this side, we can just handle that pretty quick and easy. We get to add a beast and then take 2 fear. If we do a Blazing Renewal, it makes sense to me, since we can afford to, just to get the town. And then we can like drop it into this land or something, and then Blazing Renewal it. Oh, if my Dahan went this way, I could have gathered him into the 2 and just let that land be. That would have been pretty slick. But alas, we did not go that route. I think just play into the Blazing Renewal, so we'll just go Fear and Push. And then even if we don't get the 3 Fear, I still think that this is a viable play. Just solves that back-to-back. Hard to see why this is not just the best play possible. So what I really need is a Sacred Site. We already got a Sacred Site here, so we can pick up some stuff. Sit on that for a sec. Oh, did I not do a France 6? I don't think I did a France 6, so let's just add Explorers. Just in that had an Explorer during the slow phase, so we'll have to go like there. Okay. I think that's a very sensible turn. So now we can focus on the much harder turn. Take presence back here. Let this land go. Oh yeah, but Bird's Cry. I could have done that with Bird's Cry and still picked up the 3 Fear elsewhere. That's a shame. Maybe I go for the Reclaim 1 just to hit the Sleep and Never Waken and then just kind of win the game off of that. I do have tons of energy, so I do think I gain another major, though. With Land, Thrashes, and Furious Pain getting pretty good value right here. Sweep into the Sea is always really strong against France. We do not have the elemental support to repeat it. Nor do we have the elemental support, actually technically we do, to repeat Land Thrashes. But I think it's definitely going to be between those two. Accelerated Rock could be useful here in the 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 towns going to be killed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 towns going to be added. Then we have enough for escalation. So we don't need to do anything fast. We're actually in a very safe position. Probably going to wind up just incarnating this because, like, whatever. I feel like these two do the same thing, but this is just marginally better. I think we go here. Let's dump. We do something like this. Could do that. Maybe dump this Bird's Cry. Bird's Cry could also be used just as a card to play right here. Yeah, if I do this instead, it makes me lose 1 tick of damage here, unless I choose to pick up this Moon. Which I guess really commits me to going for that. Also costs an extra energy. So I go here, boom, kill, duct. Take only 4, clear those. This is the only land that's going to be a problem. This land, we hit it with the Emerge, so everything is solved. And then that allows Shadows to kind of do whatever the heck they want. Actually, probably just do this. Abduct. Slide. Yeah, we're going to do this. So you're going to go here, town, go beast. If we get beast damage, we can always just kill this and then just be ahead in action. Over here, we went for energy, so that's the 3 range option. I think just getting ourselves like over here is valuable. Fast phase, Bird's Cry. Just protect these guys. Shadows will gather, kill, kill to fear. Blazing you up here. Abduct, slide, abduct. And end up in here. One of the fun tricks is that you can use this to add a destroyed Incarna. So when it comes time, like for Ravaging, if a Blight, we wind up taking a Blight here, we wind up not winning the gamble with all these fear cards and such, we can destroy this Incarna and then just in the slow phase play this, get it right back, and there's no harm, no foul. Because then, yeah, this doesn't get destroyed, it gets slid. So it's basically, this is like a risk-free thing as far as our presence is concerned. So a little vulnerable in a few spots. We're planning on taking, what, 4 blight if we get complete whiffs. Sacrifice presence. So let's see, I'm happy with my presence setup here. I think I'd do that. And then over here we can, this is probably going to die anyways to Ravage, so we'll just sack it. Ooh, add a fear card. And then in the land with the most buildings. Okay, so that's going to be, here it has 4, here has 2. Either add a ton of blight. Yeah, we can get like 7 fear, take 2 blight, puts us technically losing. Or we can just get rid of a town. I think we just take a town, no fear. Town, no fear. Add a Badlands to a lands with blight. I guess, well, this already has a Badlands, so we don't need it there. Go here. What is it going to be, mountains or wetlands? But yeah, we've already got a land here, so if we escalate, we just kill that town. And then if this one comes up, probably just escalate here, actually, because we want to sweep into the sea. Okay, and then what's our last one? Gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land with Dahan set up symbols. Oh, is there no adjacent land here? Because we're only protecting 2, so you might as well kick one of this out. But yeah, actually none of these have Dahan set up symbols, so we can't save this Dahan. This one we can just leave. 1 Dahan dies, then it fights back. I guess I could just pull 1. We could do this. That's fine. Next turn, then we also have the choice of just doing a defend 4, self-targeting this Guardian Serpents. We must gather at least 1, so we'll do this. Okay. We have to do -1 damage per damage they have taken. Land matching a Ravage card, 1 damage to each to up to 2 invaders. Okay. That will give me a town kill, right? I can go like ping town plus the Badlands, get a kill. Ping whatever. Doesn't change the status of taking blight. We ping here too. So we'll go town kill. We don't really have slow damage. So we'll just kill the Explorer. Beast Disease to Dahan. Beast Disease to Dahan. Removes an Explorer town. Really, we'd prefer to get rid of a town because Explorers just get pushed. Beast Disease to Dahan. Well, 2 Dahan. There. I'd rather get the fear, so I'd just kick the Explorer out. Here, we could deny a town from existing, but we know this card is not going to be jungle, so this land's perfectly safe. So there's no value here. There is no disease on the board. And it's a must, not a may. Yeah, so I guess we go like here and here. I don't know, just a little switcheroo. I can't think of anything better. Okay. Alright, Ravage the Sands. Okay, you're dead. Let's take a blight. Take this. You die. You get pushed here. Over here. Blight, you die. You get pushed here and you die. Here, blight. Blight, you get pushed. Do I want a Sacred Site? Nah, I'll just go right here. Triple blight. Love to see it. Down to 4 on the card. build the coast. Exploring the mountains. Slow phase. We get sweep into the sea. But before we do that, I think we're going to emerge from the Dread Knight Winds. Here, fear, and then we get to push. They do have to go to different lands, but I can still go town here, explore like here. And I also forgot to France 6. So we do that, and then we can sweep into the sea, which will destroy all of this. Okay, we have 3 invaders. Let's just get rid of you. Over here, what do we got? We have Crops Wither, and we have an Unquenchable. It's unfortunate we don't have the bonus range. We could downgrade this and do damage to it with the Unquenchable in order to kill it. Let's see. This does have 2 damage on it, so if we downgrade it, it just dies. That's probably the best place to use this Crops Wither and Fade. So we'll get 2 fear. This becomes a town, and then the town gets killed because of that existing 2 damage on it. Over here, we got an Unquenchable Flames. Fear. I think we're going to go right here. Okay, time passes. You stay damaged. Certainly we're going to reclaim over here for shadows. I think I'm happy with this Blazing Renewal, and it takes up like all of our energy, so I'm just going to keep on playing miners to kind of fill things out. Lure of the Unknown could be a card. Spur could be a really good card. Mez solves the 3 if we have range for it, which I think we got rid of our range boost. Yeah. It's fine. Over here for Breath, we could hit this Reclaim 1, and then, you know, keep this party rolling. That's probably... We could, like, take energy, plus 3 energy, hit the Reclaim 1. And I think that'll put us in a really strong position. Right, because we Reclaim 1, taking this Guardian Serpents. Puts us in a pretty strong position. Go like abduct, abduct kind of thing. Get this. And 1, 2, 3, 1 range and 1 piece. We can go... I'm not really sure it matters all that much. But we'll go out here. Oh, no, sorry. This needs to go here. So this can go anywhere else. We'll go out here. So we just need just a way to handle this land number 3. Of course, have our innate. We don't have any fast damage. We could innate these 2, gather the town out. Then we just have problems here instead. We could have gained any 0-cost card and then taken a spur to play it. But that's only... Is that beneficial? Let's think about it. What else are we playing with Spurs? Spurs are a really good card for us just because, you know, Fire, Moon, Fire, all that jazz. I'll put Unquenchable just to keep on hitting this land number 3. Maybe Mantle. Setting up another Blazing Renewal, though we don't really have any big lands for Blazing Renewal. Our town count is great now, by the way. Yeah, and then just play like a Spur to mix it up. We have, I mean, we could go like Spur Constancy this turn, right? And so, yeah, I think it's worth, because like if we miss, if we only get 1 cost, then whatever, we still do the same thing. But yeah, let's do gain a minor. And we do hit some 0 costs. Roiling Bog and Weep are both viable. This card gets taken, played. Maybe we'll switch one of these out to a Constancy. Probably not, because that'll be -2 elements. Over here, like a Roiling Bog. Seems pretty slick. Isolate's pretty good. Weep for what is lost. We can just get a Pile of Fear for 0 energy, right? Can't be mad about that. Neither one of these gives us an air, which we need to hit this. But actually, wait a second. This gives you +1 energy and a card play. So we can do Sky Stretches, and then use Sky Stretches to make the Unquenchable Flames fast, which then prevents the Blight. Okay, yeah, it's Sky Stretches. We are very quickly assembling all of the busted Constancy, Spur, Sky Stretches. It's one of those games, I guess. Okay, gain an energy, play a card here. Here, defend 4. Add a beast. Sky Stretches allows this to go for, well, 2 damage, but only to buildings. So Fear, kill a town, add this. We've got our innate, so we can go kill for 2 fear. That air fully loads us up. So we actually get quad. So we go boom, 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 slide over, and then for the last tick, if you ever hit it, is you get to just take any invader from the land, right? It doesn't abduct because it's the only thing. It just grabs a dude and takes him. So we can go 1, 2, 3, grab a town. And that will wind us up here with 1, 2, city, town out here. Crazy stuff. Reach from the Infinite Darkness. We can... This will help us make a Sacred Site over here on this left side. We've just got a lot of random junk going on. We don't need you. We don't need... you. Makes it very unfortunate to get the range boost, and this targets a spirit. Okay, sacrifice presence or forget a card. So we can sacrifice you. That Sacred Site's kind of weak there in the corner. And then we get a presence push over here. I think we'll just make a Sacred Site going this way. Ooh, moon. We should have plenty of moon. We have 11 moon available out of 8 required. So we're just going to take 2 fear per player and add a beast to a land with buildings on both boards. So you're cleared up, so you'll go here. We got a lot of beasts on the board right now. It's pretty sweet. I love it. There. On half the board, running up, add a disease to a land with both Dahan and invaders. Go here. I want to preserve these Dahan. And we can go here. Okay. Okay, that's 2 energy for purple. And orange only gets 1. Energy for purple. Explore or town for land with Badlands, Wild, or Dahan. The Badlands makes it a lot easier to find targets. So on each board, so we can hit this guy. There's actually no towns left on this board. So that means we're going to get rid of this explorer, which becomes a push. Gather 3 from a single land into a land with 2 or more invaders. Well, might as well just empty out all of our mountains. Going into stage 3, there's no difference going here or here, but this one has Dahan to work with, so I guess we'll go this way. Gather up to... We could gather this way, but that's not beneficial. We're just going to gather a 0. Ravage the coast. Build the mountains. Explore the mountains and jungles. Pocketed. This one does have a source. Then we get the France 6. Okay, we are almost won. We are looking at the next Slaves Rebellion card. So we got to get some Dahan set up for that. It only takes 2 Dahan to kill a city because each building is going to take a damage for each strife that it has. So we can strife a city, takes a ping, then dies to 2 Dahan. We just need to get all the pieces in all the right places. So this is a great time to use Terror of the Hunted here in the ED. There's already a beast there. What do you know? Because then we can just dump everything into like land number 3, right? All these buildings are just going to die. So we'll just start with that. So beast is present. So we get a fear and a strife. And then we get 1 more strife per terror level. And 1 more strife because it's in the ED. So we get 3 more strife. Although actually we could wait and get a 4th strife. But we don't need it because there's only 3 invaders. And they're all going to die. So yeah, you could optimize for ordering, but the outcome's going to be the exact same. Over here, we are going to... Yeah, we have up to 4 invaders. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get to downgrade, and then we get to add a beast. We're going to get fear just for killing these things. Let's get rid of an explorer. Add a beast. It's funny, I want to reclaim just because I want all these buildings out of the Endless Dark. Like, I know we're reclaiming anyways, but like, even though I had just reclaimed, I'd probably reclaim again. Just to kill a bunch of stuff. Over here, there is no towns left on the board, so this Mantle of Dread, like, it's just a 2 fear card. Like, that's it. That's all it really does. So we can, I don't know, kick this out. Great, solved it. Yep. France Stage 3 is actually insanely dangerous because now you're starting to threaten building 4 towns a turn per board. It's just a lot, right? Double explorers all over the place. So we do need to make sure that we actually get around to winning this game. We can't just sit in our laurels because we happen to be in a great position. So I do think we're really going to want to play the Sleep just to pick up explorers all over the place. Which will tap out our energy, so we'll need to pair it with some 0 energy cards. I mean, those 2 is a threshold, which is obviously necessary, but we don't have a lot of cards to work with. So anyways, let's reclaim. Minor. Yeah, why not? Gift of Living Energy. Sleep, boom. Could do something like this. Called Isolation as a maybe. Over here on the Shadows side, though. This is a push Dahan, whereas what he need here is a gather Dahan. So this city's dead. All this is dead. That leaves 2 cities left in the game for us to handle. Blazing Renewal could solve this one. Leaves 1 city left in the game. Even if we just get a downgrade, like with Crops, Wither, and Fade, we will win. But of course, we will. I guess no other cities will be built, and we have more than enough towns to survive. So I think I want to play this Crops, Wither, and Fade as just kind of like a backstop in case we don't find something better. Right now I'm going to be going up to 7, so I'm safe here. I think I gain a miner just to see if there is a way to win. No Dahan movement. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I don't think any of these cards really matter. If I do this, no, I need 3 earth. It's fine. Probably just play constancy. No, I need the that. So is Living Energy what we want to play, or do we want to go for something cooler with our elements? I guess we could, if we pick up another 3, a 5, 3, another tri-element, which we don't have, then we could do cool things. But even if we just do another air, I guess that's double fear on our right side. But our only choice is called Isolation, Gift of Living Energy, so not a lot of choices to work with. Oh, actually, no. Okay. It is Call to ISO. So that way we can use this to kick in 1 Dahan, Call to ISO, kick in 1 Dahan, and then we should win. Okay, I believe this is a win with the Slaves Rebellion. We need to escape everything. So let's just start piling some stuff up. Here, 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 here. We'll make a sacred site out here. We'll put you out here, beast. Everyone's got a beast. Okay. So, Blazing Renewal. Go here. 2 damage, +1 from the Badlands. Kills the city. Writes the land's rejection. Goes here. Innate. Actually goes this way. 2 fear. Call to ISO. Push 1 Dahan. Sleep. We'll target here. So we'll go 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All that goes away. That's going to be 4 fear. Let's pick up some presents. And then we've got 3 ticks. So I'm going to go abduct. I want to go this way, but this way is pretty slick. Here, I think this just kills. I don't think I get any abductions here, and then I slide over, and then I hit this. Because at the time of the damage being dealt, there was 2 invaders. This never got added, whatever. Okay, go to this. We have to sacrifice a presence. Sack presence. Event becomes Slaves Rebellion. On each board, destroy a town. There's only that left in the whole game. And then we get to add strife to 2 towns or cities. Okay, they all take 1 damage per strife that it has. And then the bottom portion, so then 1 damage per Dahan. So 2, 2, kill, kill. And there we go. It's a terror level 3 victory with the Fear Boys. Whew, that was quite the game. You know, classic France fashion, we got really close to losing to Towns, but we were able to just stay ahead of it through stage 2 with the nice closeout with the last portion of Slaves Rebellion. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a glorious day and a happy Halloween.